Hi, Courtney.
Hey. Hey.
Okay.
How's everybody doing?
Good morning.
Great.
Had a little hiccup with the link. Did y'all have trouble getting on at first?
Had to refresh.
Yeah, I know. Man, I got to figure out what the deal is with that.
My internet wasn't up, but it's up now.
Uh-huh. Oh, there's Jan. Anywhere they might be able to see you, but if you don't care,
No.
hide over here. Go look right over there. So we'll start on our backs, and let's start with the knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor.
I gotta get my yoga pants and I gotta get them set up for stance. You know how to do that?
Yeah. Hey guys, we've got to pick up your toys. Mom's gonna be sitting right here.
And once you work your way onto your back, bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. If it feels, close your eyes.
You guys go play in your room.
Yeah, just move.
Start to let your breath get bigger. So you're taking deep inhales, feeling your belly rise. Full exhales, letting your belly completely empty. Big inhales, expanding. Big exhales. Completely emptying. Really focusing on the sensation of your breath. Noticing where the breath moves as you inhale. Noticing where the breath leaves as you exhale. Experimenting with your breath, seeing if you can make it even bigger. Your inhale gets even more full. Your exhale a little more empty, maybe even drawing the navel really gently down towards the spine as you exhale. And then let the breath go. Let the effort of the breath go. Let your body just breathe naturally for a few moments. Bring your hands together, rubbing the palms of your hands together, letting them get a little bit warm. And then bringing the palms of the hands to your face, letting your hands soften your forehead and your eyes and your cheeks and your jaw. Let your knees hug in. Both knees come into your chest and wrap your arms around your knees, curling up into a tiny little ball. Bring your forehead towards your knees. Taking a couple of breaths here. Big breaths into the space between the shoulder blades, behind your heart. And then relaxing shoulders and head back onto the mat. Take your hands to your knees, starting to circle the knees around the hips. Letting your circles get bigger and bigger. Trying to keep the back ribs on the floor. And then let your circles go the other direction, changing directions, exploring what it feels this way, picking up the pit of the abdomen so your hips are secure. Back ribs staying glued to your mat. Again, let your knees hug into your chest, forehead to the knees, curling up into a tiny little ball, and then relaxing shoulders and head back onto the mat. Open the arms up to a T, letting the palms face down. Move the knees over your hips so your knees make a 90-degree angle and your feet are action-packed. Your toes are really bright. Draw the belly in. Take an inhale, exhale halfway over to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale halfway over to the left. Inhale center. Exhale right. Inhale center. Exhale left. Keep going with your own breath. Keeping the back ribs glued to the floor. Continuing to lift the belly as you breathe. One more on each side. And then bringing the knees back up to center, let the soles of the feet come onto the floor. Soles of the feet on the floor. We're going to cross the right ankle on top of the left thigh. And then kind of like a chicken wing, draw your right knee in towards you and then away from you. Draw it in and then reach it away. And the next time that your knee is reaching away from you, let the left foot lift off of the floor for a figure 4, and maybe just rocking at first from side to side, letting the hips rock from left to right. The feet are flexed, protecting the knees. The belly is lifting. And then you could take the right hand and scoop it between the legs, catching your left thigh in your hands, kind of hugging the left thigh in. Feet are still action-packed. Your breath is still big. And then let's take left foot back to the floor. The left foot comes back onto the mat. Slide your right knee so it stacks on top of your left. So your right leg is straight, right knee stacked on top of your left, and then start to make some circles with your right foot. Change the direction so you're circling the other way. And then like you're writing your name, no, let's go with the alphabet. The alphabet on the ceiling with your big toe, just in cursive or print, your choice. It hurts so bad. And once you get done, just shake that leg out and bring the sole of the right foot to the floor. We're switching sides. We're going to take the left ankle on top of the right thigh. like a chicken wing, moving the left leg in and then out. I guess people can see me. Next time the knee is reaching away, let the right leg lift off of the floor. So you've got the feet flexed, a nice 90-degree angle in the right leg, and then shifting from left to right, loosening the hips. When you feel ready, sliding the left arm between the legs, catching your right thigh in the hands, kind of hugging the right leg in, maybe using your left elbow to kind of press the left knee away. Action in the feet, softness in your shoulders, in your face, letting your breath be big. And then we'll set the right foot down on the floor, slide left knee on top of the right so the left leg gets long, and then circling with the left foot. Changing directions, going the other way. And then writing the alphabet with your big toe. Once you finish, shake that leg out and bring the left foot to the floor. Walking the feet underneath the knees so the knees are stacked right over your feet. Bring the arms alongside your body, palms pressing down. Take an inhale, and as you inhale, we're gonna lift the hips and lift the arms, taking the hips as high as you can and the arms over the head. And then as you exhale, rolling back down, bringing the arms all the way alongside the body. So inhale, lifting the hips, arms overhead. Exhale, rolling down. Keep going with your own breath. Let's do 4 more. When you complete your last one, let the hips come down, let the knees hug in. Rocking from left to right, just gently massaging your lower back. And then letting yourself roll to one side so that you can come up to the hands and the knees. Hello. When you get to your hands and your knees, bring the hands right underneath the shoulders, knees right under the hips. We're going to take our hands out to the side, so your hands are pointing out towards the outer edges of your mat, rocking from left to right. Maybe making some circles if that feels good. You could go the other direction if you're circling. The closer your hands are to your knees, right, the less pressure on your wrist, further your hands are away, the harder it is. Now let's change the direction of the hands. Hands are still, you know, as close or far as you want, but now backs of the hands on the floor, fingers pointing towards one another, palms up. I'm going to straighten the arms as much as I can, rocking side to side, trying to keep the backs of the hands glued to the floor. Circling if that feels good. Remembering to go both directions. Being gentle with your wrist, just exploring your range of motion and how it feels. Coming back to center, let's change the hands again. Back to normal. Fingers point forward, hands under the shoulders or closer. And then we're going to keep all 4 fingers glued to the floor. Let the palms lift. Little tiny push-ups here, just lifting the palms and the thumb. The other 4 fingers stay on the mat. You're still breathing. Remembering you can adjust the intensity to whatever is right for you. Let's do 5 more. And then when you got done with the 5, turn the fingers towards the knees. Again, they can be as close or as far as you want. Fingers pointing towards the knees. This time we're going to just do some cat-cows. So inhaling and then exhaling, letting the belly sink. Taking an inhale, pushing through the shins and the hands, lifting the navel, letting your chin curl in. And then exhaling, belly sinks. Moving with your own breath. Three more. After the third, fingers are still pointing back. And then we're going to take a big inhale and a big exhale out of the mouth. An inhale, and then lion's breath, letting the tongue stick out. Let's do that 4 more times. Last one. Let your toes curl under. Walk your way back to seated on the heels. You could use your blanket. If this is uncomfortable, you could bring it right underneath the thighs. Shake out the arms. And then bring the arms out to the side. And we're just going to rotate our arm bones. So we're going thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs up, thumbs down. And then let's let the movement get a little bigger. We're going to bring the hands forward. So the backs of the hands are coming towards one another. And then thumbs up as we reach back. So thumbs down as we reach forward, thumbs up as we reach back. Moving, and now maybe moving with your breath. Letting your movement get a little quicker so you're building a little heat. And then bringing the arms out to a T, pause and hold. And then releasing, coming off of the toes, pressing your way back into an easy down dog, the first down dog. So you're kind of relaxed. You're going to wiggle the hips and work out your toes and shift the weight from side to side. Just kind of waking up your hamstrings, the soles of your feet. And then taking really little steps, walk your feet up to your hands, just tiny little steps, making your way forward. When your feet get to your hands, take the feet so that they're hips distance, toes pointing straight ahead. A big bend in the knees, letting the belly and the thighs come close together as your head hangs. And then using your hands, walking your hands up your legs, all the way to standing. When you come to standing, come to the top of your mat. Standing in mountain pose, big toes together or feet hips distance. And then take an inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, halfway, letting the arms come out to a T. Exhale, softening the knees, folding over the legs. And then inhaling, letting the tailbone get heavy, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Let's do it again. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, halfway. Take an inhale, lengthen. And then folding over the legs. Inhale to roll up. Last one, exhale, halfway, arms out to a T. Inhale, you get longer. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale to prayer. So let's move into our namaskars, the moon salutes today. And we're just trying to link it. One breath, one movement. Inhale, the hands go forward and up. Exhale, forward and fold. Inhale, left foot back. Exhale, left knee down. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, forward and fold. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale, cobra pose, lifting the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. You could go back through the knees. Let's take a breath here. Big inhale, big exhale. Inhale, left foot steps forward, bringing it all the way up between the hands. Exhale, right knee down. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, stepping forward, forward fold. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, prayer. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, forward and fold. Inhale, right foot steps back. Exhale, right knee down. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, forward and fold. Step to plank. Take an inhale. Lower knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a breath here. Inhaling the right foot forward all the way up. Exhaling, left knee down. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, forward, stepping forward to fold. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, prayer. Let the arms come alongside, and let's just take a breath here. I wonder if it's too. So starting again, feet, big toes touching or hips distance, toes pointing straight ahead. Take an inhale, reaching forward and up. Exhale, forward and fold. Inhale, left foot steps back. Exhale, left knee down. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, forward and fold. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra, heart lifts. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left foot forward. Exhale, right knee down. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, stepping forward, forward fold. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, prayer. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right foot back. Exhale, knee to the mat. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, forward to fold. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right foot steps forward. Exhale, knee to the mat. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, stepping forward, forward fold. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, prayer. Arms alongside the body. Couple of breaths in Tadasana. If you're feeling tension, just shake a little bit, shake out any tension. Take some big breaths. Last round like this. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, forward and fold. Inhale, left foot steps back. Exhale, knee to the mat. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, forward to fold. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lowering knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left foot forward. Exhale, right knee to the mat. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, stepping forward to fold. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, prayer. Last side, inhale, reaching. Exhale, forward and fold. Inhale, right foot back. Exhale, knee to the mat. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right foot forward. Exhale, left knee down. Inhale to reach forward and up. Exhale, forward fold, stepping forward. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, prayer. Take a big inhale, reach the hands wide, up to the sky. And then a big exhale, swan diving forward, letting the knees soften, belly and thighs come together as you fold. Let your head hang. You can wiggle your feet wider. You could even hook your hands on your elbows, maybe swaying, maybe nodding your head yes and no. And then you may need your blanket and you may not, but let your hands unhook and come to the floor. Let your feet get wide enough so that you can sink the hips low. Maybe you put something under the heels if this isn't comfortable for you. And if you can't go low, just go halfway and stretch long from tailbone to head. If you can go low, stretch long too, right? Walk your hands out. Let your belly kind of fall in between your thighs. Let your head hang. Getting long, pushing into the soles of the feet to activate the inner legs. Returning your breath to a long, smooth breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. Now let's let the hips lift. The hips lift. Maybe you remove anything underneath your feet. And you wiggle the feet back in so that they're hips distance. Take the hands, walk your hands up your legs. Coming all the way up to standing with a little bend in the knees. So a little bend in the knees, you feel your tailbone descending, you feel the pit of your abdomen lifting, shoulders relaxed, your skin is relaxed, and then a little shake like you're riding a horse or jumping on a trampoline. And you're just loose and you're letting it all shake out. And then pause, keeping like that weightiness in the tail and that brightness in the belly. So you feel the tail is descending and the belly is lifting. And then bring the arms back out to a T. Let's go thumbs down. And then bringing the hands behind you with the fingers down so that it's like you're sliding your hands into your back pockets. You've still got this feeling of weightiness in the tail, brightness in the belly, hands in your back pockets. Squeeze the elbows together. Just pausing here, right? Continue to pick up the belly. Let your breath be full. Push your feet into the floor. And then squeezing the elbows together, puff up your chest. Let your chest get bright. Maybe if you want to, you stretch the legs long, keeping the hips moving forward, keeping the chest bright, elbows squeezing together. I like to keep my chin tucked into my chest and lengthen the back of the neck. Couple big breaths. And then starting from the chin, let the chin roll down, unraveling this mini back bend all the way into a forward fold. A big breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, and one more. Wiggle the feet together so your big toes are touching. Let your hips sink low. The tail gets heavy, the hips sink low. Keeping your hips low, peel your belly and your heart off of your thighs, arms to the sky, squeezing upper arm bones together, squeezing thigh bones together. Feeling that weightedness in the back body and the brightness in the front body. Letting the hips sink back so you can peek over your knees and see your toes. 3 more breaths. Take an inhale and stand all the way up, hands to the sky, and then exhale halfway, arms to a T. Take an inhale, get long. Exhale, fold, belly to thighs. Walk the feet back to a plank pose, long and strong. Pausing, knees up or down. And then let's lower, slow as you can go, all the way to the floor. When you get there, bring the palms underneath your forehead. Turn to look to your right elbow and let your right knee draw up towards your right elbow, taking some great big breaths into the space of your kidneys. Let the right leg slide back to meet the left. Switching sides, look to the left elbow, drawing the left knee up towards your left elbow. Great big breaths into the back body. Let the left leg slide along the right, bringing the elbows underneath the shoulders. So you've got your elbows stacked underneath your shoulders. You can walk them in to make it bigger. You can walk the elbows out to make it smaller. Rock your hips from side to side, letting the thigh bones kind of roll in, letting the legs come close together. And then rooting the tops of the feet down into the floor. Push the elbows down and lift the heart. Let the shoulder blades roll together behind the back. You get a little broader from armpit to armpit. Lengthen the back of the neck, making it a little soft where your neck and your skull meet. And then keeping all this action that we already have, root the left foot down into the floor. Root the right hip bone down into the floor. And then lift the right toes just an inch or two, letting the right leg lengthen behind you, getting longer. Big breaths. And then we'll bring the right toes down and we'll mash the right foot into the floor, the left hip into the floor, letting the left toes lift just a little and lengthen. And then release both legs, letting the elbows move out to the sides, bringing the head down. Take your hands under your shoulders, pressing your way back to child's pose. Hips to heels, the arms reaching out in front of you. Finding a lot of action in this child's pose. So you're lengthening from the fingertips to the tail. You're hugging the upper arm bones together tightly, letting the head kind of hang in the space, but not drop all the way to the floor. Let your breath be big, coming into the spaces between the ribs, into the space of the kidneys and your lower back. And then shifting forward, back to the hands and the knees, pressing the hips back to downward facing dog. Again, moving in your down dog just like the first one, letting the legs shift from side to side. The knees are bending like you're walking your dog. Let your head drop and your head hang. Nod your head, yes. Shake your head, no. And then one last time, walk your feet, tiny steps up to your hands. From here in your forward fold, take a big inhale, rising with a flat back all the way up to standing. Hands reach for the sky, and then exhale, hands to the heart. Let's step our feet wide. So we're gonna step the feet wide. We're gonna let the toes turn out. We're gonna bend the knees, bringing the knees right over the ankles or as much as you can, and then bringing the arms to cactus arms. Letting again, the back of the body gets heavy, kind of like it's attracted to the earth. The earth is calling the back body down. And the front of your body, your belly, your chest is getting brighter and lighter, lifting up towards the sky. Really mashing the feet down into the floor, letting that action recoil back up to legs. Trying to stick with it, staying there. And then stretching the legs straight, hands to the hips. Letting the toes turn in just a little bit. So it's like the big toes come in just a little closer than the heels. Big inhale, puffing up the chest. Exhale, hinge from the hips to fold. A wide-legged forward fold, bringing the hands to the floor. Finding balance on your feet, so all four corners of the feet are equally touching the floor. Mashing the feet down into the floor, letting the energy recoil back up the legs. Turning your fingers away from your face, walking the fingertips through your legs. You can let the knees bend. Let your behind stick out. Let your head relax. And then walk the hands back underneath the shoulders, using some help from the hands, heel toe the feet in until you can lower yourself to seated right on your behind. So let's sit with the knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor. And walk the feet in tightly. Feet get tight, tight, as close to the hips as you can get them. And I'm gonna wrap my arms really tight around my shins and then sit up really tall, using the kind of leverage that I get from the bind with my shins to help me sit up tall, letting the neck get longer and the shoulders relax. Taking a couple of big breaths. Letting the ribs move as you breathe. And then releasing some of this effort, catching behind the knees. Again, sitting up really tall, maybe lifting the heels, maybe lifting the feet. You could bring them up hips height, knee height, hips height. You could let go with your arms. You can stretch it all out. And then let's take a few big breaths. Squeezing, squeezing, letting the muscles get big and bright, letting the... And then let's release. Soles of the feet glued to the floor, arms out in front, and we're gonna make our way. Oh, actually, no, I wanna do something else. Let's stay seated. Bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees drop open. And today, let's bring the feet in close. Feet in close. Take your peace fingers, hook them onto your big toes, and then kind of push your toes into your fingers and your fingers into your toes so that you can straighten yourself up really tall. Keeping the length in your spine. So we've got a really long back and we're going to keep it. We're going to just tip forward. So I'm really rooting my sits bones down into the floor. I'm reaching the crown of my head up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. I'm getting longer from crown to tail. And then you can relax the arms once you get here. Hold on, you can reach out. Taking some big, long breaths. Maybe some Dirga Pranayama, the full yogic breath. So you're inhaling, right? And the breath gets long and you relax all your muscles. And then you exhale and the breath contracts and you tighten up and tone the belly. Inhale, everything's soft and long. Exhale, toning back to the center. Three more of those breaths. And then let's bring the shoulders back over the hips, softening the legs, let your legs stretch out, maybe just letting the femur bones roll from side to side. Let's do our cow face pose again this week. So we're gonna, and you may need like a corner of your blanket. So we're gonna take the right leg, stack right knee on top of the left. And that kind of makes my right hip want to come off of the floor. So to get it to go back down, I'm going to put the corner of my blanket underneath my left hip. So I kind of roll myself back to neutral. And then the legs are in this kind of shoestring shape, right? And you can keep them out here, but this is really hard, right? If the shins are in one line. So if that's too hard, you can tuck the feet in as tightly as you can. And it also may be something like you can't get the knees to meet, and you can use your blanket here as well if the knees don't meet, so nothing's hanging in the air. And then the same thing, let's root, sits bones down into the floor, big inhale. We're getting longer, 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 and then a little exhale just to tip forward enough that you feel some sensation maybe in the glutes or the hips. And then big breaths here, breathing into the places that feel the most sensational. Taking 3 more breaths here. And then being really gentle with yourself as you come out and unravel from this pose. And you could take the legs straight out. You could do a little spin, whatever you like. And we're switching to the other side. So now my left knee is stacked over the right. And maybe that pushes me over so there's too much weight on the right hip and none on the left. So I'm gonna tip myself over by putting my blanket under the edge of my right hip. I get a little more balanced. Then looking at the legs, keeping the feet engaged to protect the knees, I can kind of pick back here, a little less stretch, up here, a little bit more. So finding your perfect position, remembering to support, right? Support this top leg if it doesn't meet the bottom one. So it's not just hanging in space. And then getting long, sits bones rooting down into the floor. Inhale, lengthen from there up the spine. Exhale, tipping forward just enough to where you feel something. And then using your breath to relax, making space in the places where you feel a little tightness or a little sensation. Three more breaths. And then being really gentle as we come out on this side, letting the legs go out long. Maybe wiggling your feet, letting the legs move, the femur bones move in their sockets. And then let's do a twist. So we're gonna bend the right knee and take the right foot to the outside of the left knee. Right foot to the outside of the left knee. And then grab the right knee, the bent knee with both hands and pulling belly and thighs together, sit up tall and inhale. You're really mashing your right foot down into the floor. And then inhale the arms out to a T. Exhale, starting from the right hip crease. Let the right groin soften back, right ribs move back, right shoulder. And then the right fingertips come to the floor, hooking elbow to knee. Big inhale here, sitting up tall. And then exhale, letting the body soften into the twist just a little bit more. So you're twisting a little deeper. Every inhale, you inhale and lengthen. Every exhale, softening into the twist. On the inhale, it's like I think about lifting my left kidney up. And then exhale and soften the right ribs down. Inhale, lifting the left kidney up. And then exhale, softening right ribs down. One last breath. Unraveling from the belly, then your heart, and then your head. Let both legs go out long. We'll do the other side. Bend the left knee, draw the left knee in. Left foot moves to the outside of your right knee. Did I say knee? Left foot. Stomp it down into the floor, holding onto your knee. Draw your heart forward so you sit up tall. And when you're as tall as you can get, take the arms out. Big inhale. And then exhale, softening. Left groin, left ribs, and then chest. Bringing fingers to the floor, elbow to knee. Hug elbow and knee together tightly so you can sit up a little taller. Inhale. And then exhale, softening into the twist. Every inhale, picking up the right kidney. Every exhale, softening the left ribs down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Unraveling from the belly, and then the chest, and then the head. Let both legs go out long. Wiggle a little from side to side, maybe kind of getting the flesh out from underneath the sits bones so you can really feel them glued to the mat. Take an inhale, sit up really tall, hands to the sky. Exhale, just 1 little inch, we're tipping forward. I'm really squeezing the muscles in my legs, making my feet action-packed. My heart is leading the way. So I'm reaching out like there's some gold on the ceiling. And then relax the arms and the upper body. Let yourself just fold over the legs, releasing your head. And then using the hands, help your way back up to seated. Before we move on to our backs, I want you to go ahead and grab your blanket or whatever you're using. And we're gonna make like a mini little bolster out of it. So I'm gonna roll mine up. And I'll show you what we're gonna do with it. But maybe that's a little bit too big of a roll. You don't want it to be very big because they're going to put it under our upper back. And this is the way we're going to do it. Just so you know, we're not going there yet. We're going to do something first, but we're going to put it right here under the heart for a little heart opening at the end of the class. So you'll go ahead and set up your roll and just have it ready and then come onto your back. Once you get onto your back, bring the feet underneath the knees. So the knees are bent, the feet are under the knees. You're laying on your back, arms alongside the body, and let's bring the elbows to the floor and the fingertips, they're pointing straight up. So the palms are facing each other, the fingertips are pointing up towards the sky. And then we're gonna just rooting through the soles of the feet and rooting through the elbows are gonna lift the hips just a little bit. Tiny little bit, and we're not trying to go up as high as we can yet. From here, take the tailbone and lengthen it out to your knees, right? So you feel your tailbone reaching towards your knees and the front of the hips open just a little bit more. Mashing elbows down into the floor, lift the hips a little higher now. Keep reaching tailbone towards the knees, pushing soles of the feet into the floor, pushing the elbows into the floor, letting the chin point straight up towards the sky. Big breaths here, mashing through the soles of the feet to move your heart towards your chin. Breathing. Keep the inside edges of the feet pushing into the mat. Big toes pushing into the mat. 2 more breaths. And then going slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, back down. Once the hips are back on the floor, let the knees come in. You give the knees a little squeeze. And then the feet go straight up to the sky. Feel free to keep them right here. You could even use your hands, right? You could even hold on to your legs. If you want to, you could take your feet over your head. Plow pose. I can't be with you, so I don't know if that's appropriate for you. Only you know. So you've got 2 options. I'm in plow pose. Erica's in Viparita Karani. Legs up. Thanks for my demo. If you're in plow pose, bring the hips back to the floor and the legs back up to the sky. So now we're all in legs up, and we're going to take our hands underneath our behind. So you're behind, sitting on your hands. And then we're going to take the legs just 1/3 of the way down. So you're not trying to go low, you're trying to go long, lifting the pit of the abdomen, keeping the low ribs in, keeping the back ribs on the floor. Breathing, you want your belly to be soft on top, but really firm, deep within the pelvic floor. Shoulders relaxed, your face is relaxed, and we're here for 3 more breaths. And then we'll bend the knees, bring the feet to the floor, and let the legs stretch out long. My hands are still underneath my hips, and I'm gonna wiggle, wiggle, wiggle my elbows underneath me. So I'm trying to wiggle my elbows closer together behind my back. My legs are relaxed, and I'm gonna shake them out just to make sure they're relaxed, and you can even let your toes just turn out to the side, kind of like a fishtail. And then with an inhale, like a mummy coming out of a coffin, you're like Dracula, push into the elbows and lift the chest. Keep the chin tucked in just a little bit at first so that you can lengthen the back of your neck. Legs relaxed, pit of the abdomen lifting, heart lifting, and then maybe you soften the head, crown of the head back towards the floor. You don't have to do that part. You can keep the head lifted, protecting your neck. Look at me. You're up. Oh, wait, your elbows are bent. Yeah, your elbows are bent. And then we'll slide back down. You can release your hands, bend the knees, back the feet out a little wider. Let the knees knock towards one another. Couple of big breaths. And then draw the knees in. Give yourself a tight squeeze, wrapping the arms around the legs. Yogi crack the egg, forehead to the knees. And you're gonna push your legs out into your arms, but hold on with your arms so your legs can't break your arms. Like you're really pushing against yourself. Arms are squeezing in, legs are pushing out, arms are squeezing in, legs are pushing out. Oh, and then relax. Bringing the soles of the feet back to the floor. Bring your hands to your belly. Let's just take some big breaths into the space of the belly. And then finding our way to corpse pose. We're going to do a variation today. Of course, you don't have to do it. You could lay flat on the floor and do your own thing. Be my guest to do what's right for you. But we're going to take that little blanket roll and put it right underneath the shoulder blades. So it's like right underneath my armpits, just a little going across the back. My arms are above it on the floor so they could be open. I just feel this tiny bit of heart opening here. You can have your knees bent. If you have a home bolster, you could put a bolster underneath the knees. That would feel so fabulous. But you could also have your legs straight out. Just finding the perfect position for you. And it's really more important that you're comfortable and relaxed than anything else. So take the time to get into the right position for your body so that you can lay for a few moments and be still and be relaxed. And I just want to start our Shavasana with a little sound. And then I'm going, as the sound tapers off, see if you can still kind of feel the resonance or hear that sound within your body, even after we've gone silent. And the sound that I'm going to use for today is the seed sound for the heart. Yum. 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 Allow your awareness to start to come back into your body. Just taking the time to notice how you feel and notice the air entering your body and exiting your body. Doing the things that your body is craving, maybe that's stretching out or maybe it's curling up in the fetal position on one side, kind of like doing the things that you need to do as you bring yourself back. Eventually finding your way to a nice seat for just a little moment of meditation. Finding a nice upright posture and don't feel rushed. You could also stay lying down if you wanted to meditate lying down, no problem. So we're going to sit up really tall, making sure that you're comfortable, your skin is relaxed, your face is soft. Releasing any tension in your jaw and your tongue. Your eyeballs, they're even easy underneath your eyelids. And begin by breathing into the space of your heart. So you're just breathing into the chest, letting your breath open the heart space. And then starting to focus more on the breath as you inhale into the throat, into the chest. Imagine that you're inhaling, something that feels good, that feels special to you, love, grace, spirit, beauty, something that is meaningful to you. You're inhaling that into the space of the throat, into the space of the shoulders and the chest. And then as you exhale, imagine that you're exhaling all that you have brought in into the space of your heart. So I'm inhaling grace into the space of my throat, and I'm exhaling it down into the space of my heart. Letting the breath as it comes in feel light and feel warm and feel good. And letting it start to concentrate, that sensation of light and warmth start to concentrate in the space of your heart. Continuing to inhale warmth and light, grace, love into your heart space. Start to exhale it out into the world. Using your imagination, inhaling warmth and light into the space of your own heart, and then exhaling the warmth, concentrated love in your heart out into the world. Envisioning all things melting and blending together in the light and the warmth of the heart. Still concentrating your energy, your attention into the space of your heart. Let your hands come to rest on the heart space for just a moment. Maybe using this time to, send out some well wishes or prayers for others. And then bringing the palms together to touch at your heart space and sending some well wishes to yourself. Just redirecting that love and warmth toward yourself. And then letting your eyes start to blink open. Maybe rubbing the palms together to bring yourself back to life. And then letting the palms one more time come to the face, just like you would put your hands on the face of someone that you loved. And then once more, just greeting each other, bringing the palms together. Namaste. I hope that this brings a little sweetness to your day and it trickles out in some way. Thanks for showing up.
That was amazing.